utility factor is a big reason why ATVs have become so popular, especially one with a little pickup box on the back. Now, I don't want an ATV that's going to stick me hauling firewood all day long and that's all I can do with it. Instead, I want a quad that can do it all. I want a quad like Polaris' Sportsman X2 800 EFI Deluxe. Doing it all is exactly what the engineers in Roseau, Minnesota had in mind when they set to build the X2s. In order to maximize the versatility, they designed a tilting box that could be easily converted from carrying cargo to carrying a passenger. Plus, it can be done without tools or adding something to the machine. Because the seat is hidden inside here, you've always got it with you for when you need it. Packed away, you really wouldn't even know it's there. The seat back actually becomes part of the box bed itself. Now, by the way, there is an interlock in here to prevent the box from tilting when you've got the machine set up for 2 riders. Although that would be a great way to get rid of that annoying passenger. The box is also rated to carry and dump up to 400 pounds of payload, giving it the highest carrying capacity of any other 2-up in the ATV market. The chassis is also specially modified in the X2 to meet the unique demands of this segment and expected use. Overall, the wheelbase has been stretched 6.2 inches over the regular Sportsman's to 57 inches. The rear suspension has also been canted back to improve the ride and carrying capacity of the vehicle. There's even 2-stage springs to help manage the weight. It's a good thing, too, because the X2 is a heavyweight, tipping the scales at almost 920 pounds full of fuel. Add in the total carrying capacity of 490 pounds plus a rider, and you'd better hope all that weight is well managed. I do have to congratulate Polaris for building a machine that can handle it. Riding the X2 doesn't feel like 1,000 pounds, and even though the length and the weight of the machine slow its reactions down a bit, it still can be considered quite lively on the trails. Of course, the output of the 800 EFI Twin has a lot to do with how motivated the X2 feels. Spooling up surprisingly fast through the Polaris variable CVT transmission, it'll easily kick up the heels on the X. This level of performance is also really demanding on the suspensions. Combining this type of weight and this type of power can put enormous stress on the 4 corners. But overall, the combination works really well on the trails and with articulation through the rough stuff. At 8.5 inches of travel in the rear and 8.2 in the front, there's plenty of stroke to work with. There's also an advertised 11 inches of ground clearance, giving the X2 excellent off-road capabilities. Adding to the strength of this particular X is the Deluxe package, which gets you cast aluminum wheels with Carlisle 489 tires. There's also active descent control and a Polaris 2,500-pound winch for those times when you get in just a little too deep. However, the list of standard features on even the regular X2s is extensive, all adding to the versatility of the machine. But there's one feature that really stands out for me. I gotta say, I love this button because it gives you 3 options. Number 1, it gives you Polaris' selectable all-wheel drive and also a 2x4, but the third option is a turf mode, which unlocks the rear differential. This allows the rear tires to turn at differential speeds. Now, this is a huge benefit, helping to prevent the tires from ripping up your lawn when turning a tight circle. And when in turf mode, the X's turning radius is reduced, along with lightening up the feel on the handlebars. Again, all this adds to the machine's versatility. This is such a handy option, I wish more bikes had it. That way my lawn at home wouldn't look so much like a torn-up cow pasture. Another great thing on the X's, like other Sportsmans, is the sealed front storage container. Delicate items like a first aid kit, your phone, ID can be safely stowed in here. There's even ample places to attach a bungee cord to strap down a load on the lid. Storage is definitely not a problem on the X2. Between the storage bin in the front and the box back here, there's plenty of room. You've even got receivers to put the Polaris lock and ride accessories in. Now, one problem I do have is that there's nowhere to grab onto. Moving it around the trailer or garage is really tough. Even out of a mud hole, you can't get any leverage on this thing anywhere. These side fenders are way too soft to put a hold on, and I'd be afraid of ripping them off. I think the solution would be to put some sort of a bumper down here a little lower than this tailgate so you've got some leverage to work with. And really, out front with all the plastic around the winch housing, it's pretty tough to get a hold of up there too. This one issue is a small price to pay when evaluating the rest of the ATV. In fact, it's really the only issue I've found so far on the X2. Overall, the machine delivers on every expectation of utility and fun. The only other vehicle I can think of that delivers to this level on these same promises would be the side-by-sides, but they come with their own set of limitations. On the X2, I felt equally comfortable on the trails or crawling through tough terrain, but I also felt it was the best machine we have in the fleet when it came to working around my house. In the months I had the X, it's my first choice for work duty out of all the other machines, including the side-by-sides. The Polaris X2 has almost created a brand new ATV segment, the versatility segment. Now this segment goes beyond sports or utilities into brand new territory. One up, two up, towing, hauling, dumping, whatever it is you want to do or expect out of your ATVs, the Polaris X2 Sportsman 800 will probably do it.
How's she running?
Tough as nails.
Any issues?
She's handling great. Suspension's dialed in. Loads of power.
What's going on?
Fallen tree, man. Got those rocks down. No problem. Watch that mud. Piece of cake. All-wheel drive's heating it up.
Well?
Man, you got to ride it to believe it. Polaris, the world's toughest ATVs.